All right. Thanks everybody for jumping on to the our first. Let me bring that up there. There we go. Our first meeting of 2024 for the Greater Philadelphia Mac Admins. We got a small little crowd today and a small deck that will cover some what's new in the OSs and some items of interest and our conferences as we usually do. So yeah, there's our agenda. We are still talking about the three OSs that are still supported, which is Sonoma, Ventura, and Monterey. So I'll just jump right in here with what's new. All right. So for macOS Sonoma, we're talking about 14.3, 14.3.1. So since we haven't met in a couple months, I think, a couple releases, we're only talking about the latest releases I think that came out. 14.3 fixed 16 CVEs, 3 new features, and then there are 4 enterprise fixes with it. You can see the links there that you'll be able to get the information on it. But yeah, a couple CVEs in there. I believe it fixes some issues with SAN or XSAN and SMB printing. And then there's 14.3.1, which was released, I believe it was about 2 or 3 weeks after 14.3. No CVEs associated with that. It fixes an SMIME PKI issue and other mail issues that came about with 14.3. So I'm grateful that 14.3.1 was released. But yeah, that was released, I believe, last week or 2 weeks ago. I cannot recall. I don't have the date in front of me, it looks like. No, I don't. So yeah, those are your 2 major updates for Sonoma, which hopefully everybody is supporting Sonoma. Stepping back 1 release, we're at Ventura. 13.6.4 came out. It's security releases and bug fixes. That's really all this is right now. Mainly because that's what the OS is in now. It's in security release mode. I believe there was at least I'm actually going to click the enterprise release. I think there was 1 change to the enterprise in that one. Yes, they fixed XSAN issues again in 13.6.4. So if you're still using XSAN, install 13.6.4 to get that fix. And the old friend, macOS Monterey 12.7.3, same thing. Go back. Same thing. Bug fixes, security updates, and I want to say that they also fixed the XSAN issue in this one as well. If it clicks, there we go. No, it actually fixed a issue where MDM lock on a Mac with a T2 chip could be bypassed. So it's pretty important. So wait a minute, that is not the right link. I think this is wrong here. I think this is supposed to be 12.6.4, isn't it? Not 12.7.3. That might be an error on our part. We'll update the slides for when we send it out, but that's just more of an issue that we just got to update the slide there. So, and it still says October up there. My goodness, we're falling down on the job, people. I'm sorry. All right, some items of interest. I'm going to move this out of the way here. It was announced that Apple Vision Pro will be manageable by MDM within the forthcoming Vision OS 1.1 release. As you know, with this, we'll have to make sure that MDMs also support it. So if you do have the need to manage your Vision Pros, make sure you open feedback with Apple with what you want to manage, but also with your MDM providers that they should update it. This was an interesting thing. If you haven't read this, I'll put the link in the chat. There is an article from Malwarebytes Labs, kind of a little, I guess, jokingly, how to tell if your toothbrush is being used in DDoS attack, and I think they were sending it out as a joke, and you'll see the wonderful article in there about it.
Yeah, and it was in response to another article that was basically a thought experiment on devices that could be used as a botnet that a lot of mainstream publications took literally.
Yep. For those that may not click the link or might not, might be watching this later, the article states it's not. So just so you're aware, your toothbrush is not being used in a DDoS attack. But it is kind of a fun little thing that they did. All right. Six Colors, they've released the report card for Mac OS. So, their Apple support card for 2023. So pretty good. I think I think overall there was a lot of positive changes this year in it. Here we go. I'll share the link in there for tidbits. Remember Six Colors. The support card's based on 58 surveyed Apple, like very high end or high level Apple evangelists or users, and they rate it broken down based on hardware, software, and other things. So give it a read if you're interested. It's always a fun one to go through and see where Apple needs to do a little better, or where they have done better, I should say, over the years, where at least the professionals think so. And then this was the another change. So Apple announced that they had to change the App Store for the European Union. This is to comply with the Digital Markets Act, the DMA. So there's new APIs, expanded app analytics, and other things that might be important for developers. So if you are developing, apps in the European Union, you'll want to read up on this. I don't think we have anybody from Europe on the call right now. Okay, conferences. So Mac DevOps YVR 2024, the registration and call for proposals is open. And TSU 2024 workshop proposals are due by the end of the day today. So if you are putting in for a workshop, you want to get that in ASAP. Sessions, I believe, are open for a little while longer, for a couple more, I think it's a couple more weeks, but workshops are due today. So if you want to put in a workshop, do that. I know that last I checked, they are still looking for basics, like I believe Gretchen put out, they're looking for basics like Mac admin's fundamentals. So hopefully someone's cooking that up. So if you have an idea for a proposal and you maybe it's macOS basics, maybe it'll get picked and you can get a nice ticket, a free ticket for that. So it'll be nice. JNUC 2024 registration is open. So that the number this year, it's in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're interested in going to JNUC, you might want to register for that. Mac Sysadmin 2024 is coming up, and registration will be coming up later this year. So you'll want to watch for when that comes out. I think that'll be a good one to attend if you can. And then Objective by the C6, the videos are online. So if you missed it, if you did not get a chance to go to, was it Portugal or Spain? I can't remember exactly where it was last year. The videos are online and you can watch those there if you're into macOS security, and as you should be. All right. And I think that's the end of the official deck. We always do a short little deck for this before we open up to Q&A. So I'm going to stop my share now. There we go. Hey, Tom. All right. And we're going to open it up to Q&A. So usually at this time, I would say that if you have any questions that are that can be recorded, or that of any topics that we cover, I'll leave it on for now, and you can ask them right now. If not, I'm going to stop the recording and we can go private and talk about some Q&A there.
The only question I have is, does anyone know if there's going to be a Mac-a-Jop this year?
I think they just announced that.
Yes, there is. It's it's the week before Memorial Day. And it runs 3 days. It's going to run like a Wednesday night event, Thursday, all day Friday evening event, and then give you folks the chance to come home. So that will be on. The speakers deadline is already passed, and they're going to be announcing sessions here before too long.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, here it is. Expo and setup is the 22nd of May. Main conference is 23rd to 24th.
Yep.
Very cool.
They're running 3 tracks this year. So it should be they've set it up so that it's a bit more, they're a bit less vendor heavy, bit more community focused.
Oh, very cool.
The
Okay.
episode of the podcast with Maxine and Liam was dropped yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't
Very cool.
heard that yet. I just remember seeing advertising for it. So
If
Excellent.
folks want a 10% off coupon, I have one.
I'll let you know if I
I'll
can get
probably have to
if I
pay
can get
for
approved to
it when
go.
it comes, so maybe I have to see if I can swing it.
If you've never been in Brighton, Brighton's a fun town. It's a little bit, I don't know, Atlantic City without the glitz. Like it's a beach town. Like it's a full on like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
beach
I
town
know-
with a bunch of
I
pubs
know
and
exactly what that means, Atlantic City without the glitz.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like gambling hotels.
Yeah,
Trump
yeah.
has his name on nothing there. So
That's good. That is good. Anybody else have anything they want to cover that was under in the deck that is not covered under an NDA? Just for anybody's sake, I did put in a session for PSU, so hopefully it's not a workshop this time, but I did put a session, so hopefully it gets taken. Usually the Philly contingent has a pretty big group there, so hopefully
I was
everybody there will
about
be
to I was about to ask that who was presenting. I'm actually presenting a workshop with Adam Derrick, providing
Oh, awesome.
with Jan.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool.
So
Very
the whole free thing at PSU and the discount on the hotel is going to be very nice
useful.
indeed. Anybody else
The,
presenting?
I am not
Don't-
presenting this.
Yeah, I put in for it. That's about it.
I will be putting in, but I have not put in yet.
Very cool.
If anybody
Got it.
wants to dry run their presentation with a local meetup group, we happen to know one that you could,
Who's that, Mike?
that might be us.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
no, DC. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, we could do a group effort there. So we have done. I remember a couple years ago when I first did JNUC, when I did my Dep Notify thing, I did a dry run with this group here. So and it worked out well. So it's very useful if anybody wants to run, if they have the jitters and you want a small group, we will gladly run it. Let you run it for us, and we can post it up and send it over to you. Okay. Well, I'm going to switch off the recording for now so we can talk about anything that might not be able to be